Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. This is level A2, unit 22, lesson 2. And in this lesson we're going to be talking about superlative adjectives and using those to express your opinion about things. Alright, so we have some information about Claire and her colleagues, their names and their ages. And here we're looking at some books on the shelf. They're divided by size. So are the sentences about Claire and her colleagues true or false? So is Rhonda older than Diane? Well, Rhonda's 45, Diana is 36, so yes, that is true. Amy is younger than Claire. Well, Amy is 48 and Claire is 62, so that is true. Diana is older than Danielle and Amy. Well, Diana's 36, Amy's 48, and Danielle is 41, so that one is false. And Diana is the youngest of the women in the picture. Now that is true. She's younger than all of the other women. All right, and now we have some comparative and superlative adjectives here. So look at the pictures and fill in the blanks. And then restart the video when you're ready to check your answers. All right, so the orange book is thin. The brown book is, we're comparing it to the pink book, so the brown book is thinner than the pink book. The lilac book is the thickest book on the shelf. The green book is thick, and the green book is thicker than the orange book. So we use superlative adjectives to show that a person or thing has some extreme quality in a group. So in this picture, there's a group of mountains, and the tallest mountain is in the middle of the picture. So this mountain is taller than all the other mountains, so it's the tallest. And where is the tallest tree in the picture? Well, it looks like it's probably this one is the tallest. And can you see the shortest tree in the picture? Maybe this one. It's kind of difficult to see the shortest one. All right, so we don't need to mention the group of things or people if it's understood. So we know that we are looking at a group of women. So instead of saying Claire is the oldest in the group of women, we can just say Claire is the oldest and Diana is the youngest. And then here's some other examples. Main Street is the longest street in our neighborhood. That is the most interesting book I've ever read. Tom swam the fastest of the 10 competitors in the race, and Mr. James is the best teacher at my school. All right, so here's some rules of how we form superlative adjectives. They're kind of similar to what we learned about comparative adjectives. It's just they have a different ending. So if you have one syllable, you use the plus the adjective plus the est. You have to use the article the because only one thing can be the oldest, the longest, or the smartest. And then adjectives that end in y, again, you use the plus the adjective, and you drop the y and add iest. So the heaviest, the easiest, the laziest. And if it's two or more syllables, you use the most plus the adjective. So the most expensive, the most helpful, the most interesting. And then couple of spelling rules. If the adjective ends in E, then you just add ST. So an elephant is the largest mammal that lives on land. And if the adjective ends in one vowel and one consonant, you have to double the consonant and add EST. So Mexico City is the biggest city in North America. All right, so go ahead and practice. Use these adjectives and make them superlative. You can write down your answers and then restart the video when you're ready to check. Okay, so number one would be we live on the nicest street in the neighborhood. I bought the most expensive smartphone in the store. I think Italy is the most beautiful country in the world. Alex ordered the spiciest dish at the restaurant. And yesterday was the coldest day this winter. All right, now we're going to read about some extremes. So you can pause the video and read on your own, or you can follow along as I read. Yakutsk is in Russia, about 280 miles or 450 kilometers south of the Arctic Circle. It is the coldest city in the world. In January, the average temperature is about -40 Fahrenheit or -40 centigrade. Yuma in Arizona, USA, is the sunniest city in the world. On average, there are about 313 sunny days every year. Surprisingly, one of the most remote cities in the world is in Australia. Perth has a population of about 2 million. However, the nearest big city is more than 1,245 miles or 2,000 kilometers away. The most populated city in the world is Tokyo, Japan, with more than 38 million inhabitants. And Singapore is the most expensive city in the world. Paris, France, and Zurich, Switzerland come second and third on the list. And then what about these places? Hamburg in Germany is said to be the cleanest city in the world and the most environmentally friendly. It is a wonderful place to ride a bike. Opinions differ, but many people think that the Canadian city of Vancouver is the most culturally diverse city in the world. Bangkok, the capital of Thailand, is the most popular city for international travel. Everyone has their own opinion, but Vienna in Austria is said to be the best city in the world to live in. Some of the reasons include its low crime rate and excellent health care, and it also offers great cakes and desserts. All right, and then we also have irregular adjectives. So the ones that are irregular in the comparative form are also irregular in the superlative form. So good, better, best, bad, worse, worst, far, farther, farthest. So here are some examples. Vanilla is good, chocolate is better, but strawberry ice cream is the best ice cream. It rained all week. That was the worst vacation I've ever had. Neptune is the farthest planet from the Sun. Pluto used to be the farthest planet, but scientists decided in August 2006 that Pluto was a dwarf planet. Okay, so now complete the text with the correct form of the adjectives that you're given. And you can pause the video, write down your answers, and then restart when you're ready to check. So I live in Bayonne. I think it's the most beautiful town in Spain. I'm an English teacher. I'm an English student. My English teacher is Florence. She is the best teacher in my town. However, today I had the most boring class. Florence was sick and there was another teacher. The new teacher spent an hour talking about adjectives. It was the worst lesson. I want Florence to return. Okay, so what do you know about languages? How many official languages does India have? How many native speakers of English are there? Can you name an artificial language? Which language has the largest vocabulary? Which languages use the Cyrillic alphabet? Can you name a language that people read and write from right to left? And how many languages are spoken in Papua New Guinea? So we'll check and see if they give us the answers. They do not, so maybe we'll see the answers later on. All right, and so we are all native speakers of at least one language. So answer these questions about yourself. So which alphabet do you use? How many letters are in your alphabet? What language do you speak at work? What language do you speak at home? What languages are spoken in your city and country? And do people learn your native language as a foreign language? All right, so Benjamin talks about some different languages. Which languages does he mention?
Okay, here are some interesting facts about languages. Did you know, for example, that Mandarin Chinese is the most widely spoken language in the world? Apparently, over 1 billion people speak it as their native language. Spanish comes second, with about 400 million speakers, and English is third, with about 360 million native speakers. The language with the biggest alphabet is Khmer, which is a language in Cambodia. It says here that there are 74 letters in the alphabet. 74! The language with the smallest alphabet is Rhoticus, with only 12 letters. That sounds much better, although I'm not sure how many people speak Rhoticus.
Okay, so the languages that he mentioned were Mandarin Chinese, Spanish, English, Khmer, and Rhoticus. Okay, so we're going to listen again, and this time you're going to answer true or false.
Okay, here are some interesting facts about languages. Did you know, for example, that Mandarin Chinese is the most widely spoken language in the world? Apparently, over 1 billion people speak it as their native language. Spanish comes second, with about 400 million speakers, and English is third, with about 360 million native speakers. The language with the biggest alphabet is Khmer, which is a language in Cambodia. It says here that there are 74 letters in the alphabet. 74! The language with the smallest alphabet is Rhoticus, with only 12 letters. That sounds much better, although I'm not sure how many people speak Rhoticus. Okay. The language with the most extensive vocabulary? English, of course. It's hard to say exactly how many words there are, but some estimates put it at about 250,000. On the other end of the scale, Taki-Taki, which is a language spoken in Suriname, South America, has the most limited vocabulary, with just 340 words. Now, the big question, which language is the easiest to learn? Well, some people say it's Esperanto. Esperanto is an artificial language which was created in the 19th century. Why is it so easy? Well, apparently it's because the language is completely regular. There are no irregular verbs, for example. It's hard to say exactly how many people speak Esperanto, but it's thought that about 2 million people can speak it to some extent.
All right, so Mandarin Chinese is the most widely spoken language in the world. That is true. English has the second largest number of native speakers. That's false. English is third. Khmer, spoken in Cambodia, has the biggest alphabet. That's true. Russian has the smallest alphabet with only 12 letters. That is false. Taki-Taki has the most limited vocabulary. That's true. Spanish is the easiest language to learn. That is false. All right, so we'll listen again and we'll fill in these answers as we go along.
Okay, here are some interesting facts about languages. Did you know, for example, that Mandarin Chinese is the most widely spoken language in the world? Apparently, over 1 billion people speak it as their native language. Spanish comes second, with about 400 million speakers, and English is third, with about 360 million native speakers. The language with the biggest alphabet is Khmer, which is a language in Cambodia. It says here that there are 74 letters in the alphabet. 74! The language with the smallest alphabet is Rhoticus, with only 12 letters. That sounds much better, although I'm not sure how many people speak Rhoticus. Okay, the language with the most extensive vocabulary? English, of course. It's hard to say exactly how many words there are, but some estimates put it at about 250,000. On the other end of the scale, Taki-Taki, which is a language spoken in Suriname, South America, has the most limited vocabulary, with just 340 words. Now, the big question, which language is the easiest to learn? Well, some people say it's Esperanto. Esperanto is an artificial language which was created in the 19th century. Why is it so easy? Well, apparently it's because the language is completely regular. There are no irregular verbs, for example. It's hard to say exactly how many people speak Esperanto, but it's thought that about 2 million people can speak it to some extent.
All right, that brings us to the end of today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, or share. And if you have any questions, please send those to me in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.